Well, hello there. Good morning. Welcome to Coaching with Connie. I'm Connie Fuchsa. And so I just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about a concept that it keeps hitting home. I was listening to a podcast this morning and it reiterated itself. It came back up. I even watched a previous video that I'd done about a year ago. And again, this concept keeps coming up. And I hear people all the time say, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I just don't feel comfortable about doing this, or it's just not my wheelhouse. But I really want to do it, but I just don't feel comfortable doing it. Or maybe somebody's standing in your way. Like, how many times do you look around and you say, gosh, I would really do this if I didn't have this? Or I would really try this that I really want to try if I didn't have this going on, or this standing in my way, or this person standing in my way. And what I wanted to share with you guys this morning is exactly that. The only person, thing, object, being that is standing in your way of doing something you want to do is you. So it's what's between your ears. And I talk about this a lot. When you talk about fear, hey there, good morning, Miss Cheryl. I'm so appreciative that you are on, that you're commenting. Thanks for being here. You're such a powerhouse. I really appreciate you. Thanks so much for being here. So I want to talk to you guys exactly about this. So what is stopping you? What's standing in front of you? Hey, Miss Dawn, how are you today? Thanks so much for tuning in. So what is standing in your way? I know that, oh, I love you too, girl. You're amazing. So what is standing in your way? What is stopping you? What has gotten in your head? What's gotten in your circle? What makes you think you can't do something? So I'm going to give you an example. So for a long time, I owned my own brick and mortar business, right? And it was one of those things that I absolutely loved what I was doing and never saw myself doing something else until I got the opportunity to maybe do something else. And I thought, it doesn't make sense not to try these things because you don't know what's in the magic sitting on your shelf. I talked about this last week. There's something sitting on your shelf that reminds you it's something you love to do, and the magic is right there. So what's stopping you from trying that? Hey there, good morning, Phil. Miss you guys too. I know it's a little hard to stay connected with everybody, and that's what the beauty of doing all this is that we can still see each other. So I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for tuning in. So what's around you that you really want to be part of, that you really want to do? Maybe it's a group you want to join. Maybe it's something you want to try in a business. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So in my case, I really didn't see something else. I mean, I used to try a lot of things inside my business, but having the opportunity to do something else, well, goodness, I never thought that was possible. And honestly, there was a lot of things I felt like I couldn't do because I owned that business. And it wasn't the business's fault. It was just the societal thoughts around not being able to do certain things because I really would love to do this, but I can't because of this person, because of this action, because of this business. I have to have certain things in place and I just can't do that. This is what I want to share with you. You have to just do whatever it is. Do it anyway. It doesn't matter what someone else thinks. It doesn't matter what the society thinks is a really good idea. Society thinks you should be doing. It's not the popular thing. Think about all the people now that are trying new things because they don't have an option. Think about the people who had secure jobs for all of their life and all of a sudden that business doesn't exist anymore. I mean, some really big businesses, shopping centers closing, office spaces closing, businesses, unfortunately, that are mammoth are closing that we're shocked about. And those people now have an incredible opportunity to do it anyway. Like they've always wanted to start something. They always wanted to get involved in something and they just didn't have enough time to do it. There was people saying to them in the back of their head, hey, you can't do that. It's not a good idea. You'll lose money. How are you going to feed your family? How are you going to have enough time for your family? And all of these things, although they may be realistic things, you'll figure it out. Think about when you were a a younger person, and somehow you figured out how to be a mom and a wife and a mother and a wife and a part-time school teacher because you were doing homework all night, and you figured out how to maybe you wanted to learn how to ride a motorcycle, and maybe you wanted to you had to cut the grass outside, and you had to take care of your household. How did you figure out how to still go to work every day and make it work? You're a guy, and you have to take care of the vehicles, and you have to take care of the lawn, and you have to contribute and be part of the family and do things at night, help do homework. How did you figure out how to do all the rest of it? You just did it. When you wanted to try something new, you just did it anyway. And this is what I want to share with you guys. There is nothing out there that any of us can't do, because what is stopping you is you. You're stopping letting yourself try something new. Let me tell you something. This is a quirky little story, but several years ago, my husband and I ride Harleys, and several years ago, I was always the rider, right? And not that there was anything wrong with it. I loved being the rider. But a friend of ours who had never ridden a motorcycle before decided to go take the class and ride and get his license. And I said, well, I rode dirt bikes as a kid, so if he can get his license, it was a little bit in my competitive nature to say, I gotta be able to do this. So I never had any plan of doing anything other than getting my license. Now, since that day when I got my license, it was about 4 years ago, actually this month, 4 years ago, and maybe it was 5 years ago, I'm not sure. But anyway, I have only ridden on the back of somebody else's bike once. Why? Because once I started doing it, I absolutely loved it. So I just did it anyway. It really didn't matter what everybody else thought. Oh my gosh, here's a business owner, a lady, she shouldn't be riding a motorcycle, this and that. It didn't matter. Just do it anyway. What is it that you really want to do? Do you want to sell real estate? Do you want to be a professional singer? Do you want to be a landscaper? Do you want to just make some extra cash for your family? What do you want to do? You've got to do it anyway. It doesn't matter what your head says, what your neighbor's head says, what your parents' head say. As long as you're not doing something illegal and it's harming to others, you got to do it anyway. So I hope you guys are just having a fantastic week. I really appreciate you tuning in, interacting with me, telling me what's going on in your world. I miss you guys too, and I try to stay in touch through social media as much as I can. The one thing I want you guys to think about, if you know somebody in your sphere that's in the real estate, mortgage, title kind of world, the thing that I do now is I work with those people, helping them expose their expertise. And just like I talked to you guys about sharing all the things that you know, this is what I do now. I help people expose their expertise, because you have some kind of expert inside of you. It's just a matter of getting it out. So, as I said earlier, do it anyway, guys. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, as long as you're not doing anything illegal or harming someone else. You need to do it anyway. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you want more about me or what I can do to help you or someone you know in your sphere that might need some help, I'd love to sit down and do a free consultation and talk. ConnieFuchsa.com is where we can set up that, or you can message me on here. So make it a fantastic day and do it anyway. I'm Connie Fuchsa. Thanks for tuning in to Coaching with Connie. Bye-bye for now.